and welcome to News on the Hour. In the next 1 hour, we'll give you all the latest news and updates. Correspondents will also be joining us with the latest. Big day for India in Paralympics. 4 medals so far and 7 in total at Tokyo. And we expect more in the events to follow. We'll also give you updates on Afghanistan. My name is Abhishek Mahajan. First up, the headlines. India shines in Tokyo Paralympics, bags 4 medals today. Avni Lekra wins gold medal in women's 10-meter air rifle standing SH1 final. Shots 249.6 setting Paralympic record. Yogesh Kathunia wins silver medal in discus throw F56. Devendra Jajaria wins silver. Sundar Singh wins bronze in javelin throw class F46. President, PM, Union Sports Minister congratulate the athletes. 63.43 crore vaccine doses administered so far under nationwide vaccination drive. Goa extends state-level curfew till September 6th. Night curfew to be imposed in Kerala. West Bengal government extends COVID-19 restrictions till September 15th. All schools and colleges to remain closed in J&K till further orders. Raksha Mantri Rajnath Singh to virtually deliver 3rd Balramji Das Tandon Memorial Lecture on national security at Punjab University today. Sovereign Gold Bond Scheme 2021-2022 Series 6 to open today by Reserve Bank of India. Open for subscription till September 3rd. Bonds to be sold through banks, designated post offices and recognized stock exchanges, National Stock Exchange of India. Flood situation in Assam worsened. Over 2.5 lakh people across 16 districts affected. Lakhimpur district worst hit due to continuous rainfall. Brahmaputra flowing at above normal to severe flood situation. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres calls meeting of the permanent members of the Security Council today to discuss the chaotic situation in Afghanistan. And Festival of Birth of Lord Krishna is being celebrated across the country. President Ramnath Kovind extends greetings to all fellow citizens on the eve of Janmashtami. Right, so Indian athletes shine in Tokyo Paralympics, bag 4 medals today so far. Let's start with Paralympic stories. So Avni Lekra clinches India's first gold today in the ongoing Tokyo Paralympics by winning the women's 10-meter air rifle standing SH1 event. The 19-year-old became the first woman from India to win a Paralympics gold medal. Avni finished with a Paralympic record and in process equaled the world record with 249.6 points. Avni Lekra started the final at a very good pace as she scored consistently above 10 points. Just too short of a went below 10 in the first competition stage, which landed her in the 2nd position. China's Kuping Zhang grabbed silver by scoring 248.9 points, while Ukraine's qualifier won bronze. And President Ramnath Kovind has extended greetings to Avni Lekra in a tweet. He said, and I quote, "Another daughter of India makes us proud. Congratulations to Avni Lekra for creating history and becoming the first Indian woman to win a gold at Paralympics. India is elated by your stellar performance. Our tricolour flies high at the podium due to your phenomenal feat." And Prime Minister Narendra Modi also extended greetings. This is what he tweeted: "Phenomenal performance, Avni Lekra. Congratulations on winning a hard-earned and well-deserved gold made possible due to your industrious nature and passion towards shooting. This is truly a special moment for Indian sports. Best wishes for your future endeavours." And this is a tweet by Union Sports Minister Anurag Thakur. "Amazing, Avni wins gold medal for India. a historic achievement as she becomes the only woman in Olympics and Paralympics to win a gold, shooting in 10-meter air rifle standing SH1 final. Score of 249.6, creating a Paralympic record equaling the world record. And two Indian athletes also won silver medal today. Yogesh Kathunia won silver medal today in men's discus throw F56 event. Yogesh registered his season best attempt of 44.38 in the men's F56 final. Yogesh threw 44.38 in his sixth and final attempt to take up the top spot before Claudine Batista of Brazil fired 44.57 in first attempt to dethrone the Indian athlete. The 24-year-old sent the disc to a best distance of 44.38 in his sixth and last attempt to clinch the silver medal.
फाउल हो गए थे लेकिन फिर भी फाउल होने के बावजूद भी अच्छा हुआ और मेडल आ गया सिल्वर। थैंक यू सबसे पहले तो साई को करना चाहता हूँ प्लीज साई को और अपनी कंपनी को सबसे ज़्यादा जिसने मुझको बहुत ज़्यादा सपोर्ट करा था।
Right, so wishes pouring in for Yogesh Kathunia. Also, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has extended greetings to Yogesh, and in a tweet he said, "Outstanding performance by Yogesh Kathunia. Delighted that he brings home the silver medal. His exemplary success will motivate budding athletes. Congrats to him. Wishing him the very best for his future endeavours." Unquote. And Union Sports Minister Anurag Thakur also tweeted silver for Yogesh Kathunia in his first Paralympics. India's Paralympians are making us immensely proud and it's thrilling to see them in action. Discus throw F56 final, season best throw of 44.38 meters. And Yogesh Kathunia's family celebrating at their residence in Bahadurgarh in Haryana as he wins a silver medal. So you can see the celebration shots from Yogesh Kathunia's house. And India also grabbed a silver and a bronze medal in javelin throw event. Devendra Jhajaria won silver medal in men's javelin throw F46 event, while Sundar Singh Gurjar captured bronze with a season best throw of 62.58 in the same event. Devendra Jhajaria grabbed silver with a personal best throw of 64.35. This was also his third medal at the Paralympic Games. Sundar went first among the Indian trio in the final as he started with a season best of 62.58. After Neeraj Chopra's historic performance, we know at the Tokyo Olympics, javelin throwers have been in the limelight. I'm talking about Devendra Jhajaria. He had won gold in 2004 Athens and also in 2016 Rio Paralympics. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has extended greetings to Devendra Jhajaria, and in a tweet he said, "Superb performance by Devendra Jhajaria, one of our most experienced athletes. He wins a silver medal. Devendra has been making India continuously proud. Congratulations to him. Best of luck for his future endeavours." And extending congratulations to Sundar Singh, the Prime Minister said India is overjoyed by the bronze medal won by Sundar Singh Gurjar. He has shown remarkable courage and dedication. Congratulations to him, wishing him the very best. Unquote. So 4 medals today for India in Tokyo Paralympics. We had won 3 medals yesterday, and we started off today with Avni Lekhri. She won gold in shooting, then Yogesh Kathunia, Devendra Jhajaria, and then Sundar Singh Gurjar. And we also saw Bhavina Patel winning silver medal in table tennis yesterday. Nishat Kumar also in T47 high jump, and Vinod Kumar had won a bronze in discus throw. In total, 7 medals so far for India in Tokyo Paralympics, and this is the best ever show also by India in the Paralympics so far. Right, shifting focus now. Meanwhile, United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres has called a meeting of the permanent members of the Security Council to discuss the chaotic situation in Afghanistan today. At the meeting, France and Britain will submit a resolution on Afghanistan proposing a safe zone in Kabul to try and protect people trying to leave the country. French President Emmanuel Macron said the resolution proposal aims to define a safe zone in Kabul under UN control, which would allow humanitarian operations to continue. Britain, France, the United States, China and Russia are the Security Council's permanent veto-wielding members. The full Security Council last met on Afghanistan on August 16th, a day after the Taliban swept to power in the country. Right, and breaking news, big news coming in here. As many as 5 rockets were fired at Kabul's international airport, but were intercepted by a missile defense system as the United States nears the complete withdrawal of its troops from the city. So big news coming in here. As many as 5 rockets were fired at Kabul's international airport, and US nears complete withdrawal of its troops from Afghanistan. And we heard rocket attack in Kabul and several rockets heard flying over Kabul, and that came after Joe Biden had warned of another terror attack. So big news coming in here, and our correspondent Ravi Dhiman is joining us to give us more information on this. Ravi, rocket attack in Kabul and several rockets heard flying over Kabul. What latest can you tell us?
Well, that's true. There was a rocket attack on Kabul, and after the rocket attack was intercepted by the air defense system installed by the US forces at the Kabul airport. Around 5 rockets, as people tell us, were fired from locations just outside the Kabul airport, and they were intercepted by the air defense system. So far there is no report of any casualty, loss of life or property, but the recent developments do add a sense of urgency to the US evacuation efforts. President Biden had been saying that it is possible that the US forces and the evacuation operations will come under further attack, and that has happened precisely for the second day running. Yesterday also we saw that the US drone attack neutralized a car laden with explosives near Kabul airport, and today the a rocket attack has been attempted to disrupt the evacuation, and the target obviously was the US forces who were evacuating now their soldiers on the last leg of the evacuation operations in Kabul.
But Ravi, the situation on the ground continues to be extremely dangerous. But how do you see this moving forward from here? The implications basically I'm talking about of these developments. Nothing, I think nobody looks in control, be it US or Taliban. What is your reading of the situation?
Well, the situation is quite fluid there. As you said, no one is in control. This country is in state of flux right now because of the situations and the turn of events for the past 15 days. Clearly, no one seems to be in charge. The Taliban is ready to take over formally the government and take over the reins of the administration. The US continues to control one wing of the international airport. Right now, the US, the evacuation efforts from the airports regarding the US is in the last stage. They are evacuating their soldiers. 6,000 were there to ensure evacuation went off peacefully when they were trying to evacuate the US nationals. Now around 4,000, 3,500 odd US soldiers remain there at the airport, and they are being evacuated by successive flights. This is what the US evacuation effort is all about. They are making it sure that they will wind up the entire effort by 31st and hand over the international airport to the Taliban. The main problem will come after that. Obviously, the US will come under, will continue to be a target for the ISIS Khorasan, and the Taliban will have the responsibility of securing the outer perimeter. But the situation is fluid because of the situation in Kabul. No one seems to be in control. ISIS is a sworn enemy of the Taliban. It has the capacity to strike at will. It retains its sleeper cells in and around Kabul, and it has the capabilities to strike at will any place in Kabul. So that's a dangerous situation for the US troops. Right now, the only thing that works in their favor is that they are enclosed in a small enclosure at the international airport, and they can defend themselves well. They thought about possible RPG and rocket attacks, and that's why a US air defense system was installed there, which has neutralized these rockets coming in from outside the Kabul airport, targeted at the US defense forces. And after 31st, the real test will start for the Taliban, which will have to bring some order to Afghanistan, some order to Kabul, get the economy going. The main challenge will be to get the economy going and to beef up security so that the normal Afghan citizens, the normal Afghan people, they feel secure enough to start their day-to-day activities. The business also resumes its cycle, and the spiraling downward slide of the Afghan currency is also arrested.
But again, Ravi, you're talking about the 31st August deadline and the cutoff date. We might see maybe the true colors of Taliban after the deadline, that is tomorrow. What will happen after 31st? That's the biggest question. But again, the question comes up that when will the peace return in Taliban?
Well, that's a very difficult question, because as of now, Taliban seems to be in a state of flux. Taliban seems to be caught in crosshairs. It seems that peace still eludes the people of Taliban. After 20 years of the fighting against the Taliban, the US has left. And one interesting thing is that these bomb attacks, the twin bomb blasts which happened on 26th, have somehow made the US rely more on Taliban on securing the perimeter. So the situation, the security scenario has undergone a dramatic change. Now the US wants the Taliban to secure the outer perimeter while it secures its evacuation efforts. And when peace will return, Taliban will depend a lot to Afghanistan, will depend a lot on Taliban and how they handle the things. If there is resentment against the Taliban, apart from ISIS, if there is resentment in the common man and the way the things proceed in Afghanistan, obviously there will be some repercussions for the Taliban regime also. And we must understand that the world has changed a lot in these 20 years. Social media and other medium of communication, they have shown the normal common man of Taliban what independence is all about, what freedom of expression, freedom of thought is all about. And these things are sure to come up and face Taliban. Taliban will have to face them once it formally starts administering the country, and that will be the main challenge before the Taliban to secure the confidence of the people of Afghanistan.
Absolutely right, and the current situation on the ground looks absolutely it's extremely dangerous. Thank you, Ravi. Thank you for giving us your vital inputs. US forces are in the final phase of pulling out of Kabul, ending 2 decades of involvement in Afghanistan as the country's new Taliban rulers prepare to take control of the airport. US and allied forces have mounted a massive 2-week effort to ferry foreign nationals and tens of thousands of vulnerable Afghans out of the country. The airlift, one of the biggest search evacuation operations ever, marked the end of a 20-year Western mission in Afghanistan. Around 1.14 lakh people have been taken out of Afghanistan by the US and allies in the past 2 weeks. US President Joe Biden has meanwhile said he will stick by his deadline to withdraw all US troops from Afghanistan by tomorrow, that is 31st August. The US will be the last to complete its mission, with all other countries having already concluded theirs. And US President Joe Biden on Sunday met with the families of the 13 US soldiers who were killed in an attack at Kabul airport last week, as the remains of the fallen army personnel are returned to the United States from Afghanistan. Biden and First Lady Jill Biden attended the dignified transfer of the fallen soldiers at Dover Air Force Base in Delaware on Sunday, a military ritual of receiving the remains of those killed in foreign combat. And people around the world took to the streets over the weekend to call for support for Afghans. In Washington, about 1,000 people gathered outside the White House, including Afghans living in the United States. Participants held signs that say "Save Afghanistan" or "Save Afghan Lives." They urged the Biden administration to help as many Afghans as possible flee the country and help protect the rights of Afghan women. Similar events were held in more than 30 cities, including London and Berlin, to call for support for Afghans. Well, shifting focus now, let's talk about COVID. An update now on the nationwide vaccination drive and COVID-19 situation from across the country. India's COVID-19 vaccination coverage has surpassed the cumulative figure of 63.43 crore. Sustained and collaborative efforts by the centre and the states and the union territories continue the trend of less than 50,000 daily new cases that is being reported for 64 consecutive days now. 42,909 new cases were reported in the last 24 hours. The recovery of 34,763 patients in the last 24 hours has increased the cumulative tally of recovered patients to 3,19,23,405. Consequently, India's recovery rate stands at 97.51%. The active case load presently stands at 3,76,324. Active cases constitute 1.15% of the country's total positive cases. And the testing capacity across the country continues to be expanded. The last 24 hours saw a total of 14,19,990 tests being conducted. India has so far conducted over 52.01 crore cumulative tests, while testing capacity has been enhanced across the country. Weekly positivity rate at 2.41% remains less than 3% for the last 66 days now, and the daily positivity rate stands at 3.02%. The daily positivity rate has remained below 5% for 84 consecutive days now. And talking about Kerala now, in view of surge in new cases in Kerala, the state government has tightened its restrictions to enforce triple lockdown in areas with weekly infection population ratio above 7. Night curfew sets in from today onwards, and complete lockdown will be enforced on Sundays, allowing only essential services to operate. At the same time, testing strategy has also seen some changes, with RT-PCR made mandatory for all showing symptoms. The Kerala government has also decided to convene a meeting of COVID experts on 1st September to review the scenario and chalk out new strategies. A meeting of local body heads will also be convened the same day. Goa government on Sunday announced extension of COVID-inducted state-level curfew till September 6th, 7 am. The curfew was first imposed in May when cases attained peak in the coastal state, which was then reeling under second wave. It was extended on multiple occasions, and as per the earlier order, the curfew was supposed to end on August 30th. And the state government has opened majority of the activities in the state with several curbs, but the areas like casinos are yet to be opened. And amid the scare of the third wave of the coronavirus, the West Bengal government has decided to extend COVID-19 restrictions in the state till September 15th. Night curfew to be imposed between 11 p.m. to 5 a.m. The government has said that after seeing the devastation of the second wave of COVID-19, it is only precautionary to extend the lockdown for the safety of the citizens. And also in the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir, all schools, colleges and other educational institutions, including coaching centres, shall remain closed till further orders. However, higher educational institutions can be permitted to commence with limited in-person teaching, subject to 100% vaccination of staff and students and specific permission of concerned deputy commissioners. In its order issued yesterday, the government said that the maximum number of persons permitted to attend any indoor-outdoor gathering will remain restricted to 25. The government has issued directions to the district magistrates and superintendents of police to ensure strict compliance of the cap on the gatherings. Moreover, night curfew will continue to remain in force in all districts from 8 p.m. to 7 a.m. moving further on, Raksha Mantri Rajnath Singh will virtually deliver a lecture on national security at the Punjab University today. In the series of annual lectures being organized in memory of the founder member of Jan Sangh, former Deputy Chief Minister of Punjab and former Governor of Chhattisgarh, Balramji Das Tandon, Rajnath Singh will be the keynote speaker in this edition. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu and BJP National President JP Nadda had become the part of this prestigious event as keynote speakers in the past. Balramji Das Tandon has served as councillor for 13 years, 25 years as MLA, 10 years as minister and 4 years as the governor of Chhattisgarh. Bihar now, due to increase in the water level of many rivers including Ganga, Gandak, the danger of flood in the state has increased once again. People from flood affected areas have started migrating to safer places, and for the last 2 days, due to incessant rains in Nepal and North Bihar, the water level of many rivers including Kosi has started rising. The water level of Gandak river in Gopalganj district is increasing continuously. 5 villages of Rampur, Tengrahi Panchayat of Sadar block have been affected due to rising water levels. Rajwahi village is completely engulfed by flood waters. The flood water has also entered many government buildings including basic school. In West Champaran district also, due to the rise in the water level of Gandak river, flood water has entered in many villages of Beria and northern blocks. And talking about the Assam now, the flood situation in Assam worsened on Sunday with at least 258,000 people across 16 districts bearing the brunt of heavy rainfall and 6,200 being forced to take shelter in the relief camps. According to the Assam State Disaster Management Authority, which is ASDMA, Lakhimpur was the worst hit district with 105,257 people in the area being affected by flooding, followed by Majuli where 57,256 have been hit by the floods. According to the daily flood situation report by the Central Water Commission, the Brahmaputra was flowing at above normal to severe flood situations in Dibrugarh, Jorhat, Sonitpur, Golpara, Kamrup and Dhubri districts due to continuous rainfall. And Mridu Smita, my colleague, joins us with more from Guwahati. Good morning, Mridu. First of all, how is the situation in Assam? Is it still grim? The water level of Brahmaputra river has risen. We know the rivers are also flowing above the danger level mark in many places. What more can you tell us?
Yes, as expected, the rising of the river Brahmaputra, the level of the Brahmaputra river has contributed to the rising of the rivers like Beki, then other tributaries of the Brahmaputra, and because of which the various districts in Assam, so far 16 districts till now, till the reports of the ASDMA, that 16 districts have been worst affected, especially if I talk about the districts like Borpeta, Jorhat, Sibsagar, then Nagaon. These are the main, Vishwanath as well. These are the districts where the things are very green, where there have been reports of damages of roads, then bridges and even embankments are having a little bit of problem due to the damage, because of which the water has come inside the town areas from the river, and the worst affected is the Vishwanath district as well, and Lakhimpur, as you have already mentioned. And so far around 25,000 hectares of land have been submerged, and this is a very bad situation because the people are dependent upon the paddy fields, and they usually do the cultivation, and these cultivable land, when they get submerged, usually the fertile land gets for many a longer period, the land is not suitable for again for cultivation. So this is also a very bad situation. And if I talk about the level of the river, as it is flowing above the danger level, in the past few hours, according to the Department of Water Resources, they have confirmed that a continuous flow of water from the upper Subansiri to the Brahmaputra has given a rise of 30 to 35 centimeter of increase in the water level. And this is not a good sign, because it seems, and there have been rainfall throughout the region of Assam, and there has been no stop. Even there has been a little bit of a sunny day, but after that again things have become a little worrisome, because again it seems there will be more rain as predicted by the MEG department. They have given this notice that there will be more rainfall in the coming days, which will definitely worsen the situation. And however, the Assam government, along with the district administrations, are prepared for evacuation. They have been undergoing the evacuation process. For the SDRF and the NDRF people are helping the people to, so that they can be moved to the places where the safer places in the relief camps. And so far, around they have deployed around 10 boats to evacuate around 200 people in the last 24 hours.
Well, Smita, you have told us about the forecast that more rains are expected in the coming days. Thank God there have been no loss of human lives, but again, does the rescue operation becomes difficult because of the incessant rains? Because for the evacuation and the rescue operations, when there are continuous rains, it does become very, very difficult for them.
Yes, of course, but thanks to the personnel of the SDRF, NDRF, they are quite equipped, because this region is, as you know, we always face flood, and last year also we had to face 3 waves of flood. So they are quite well equipped, and yes, as you said, there have been no loss of life so far. There have been no reports as such. But in fact, during the the flood, with the flood, there is another big problem of erosion, because of the rainfall, and the water level of the Brahmaputra river. It tends to again break through the land areas, and there is the formation of erosion, because of which many people have to lose their houses, and that is also a big problem here in Assam. And I would also like to add that there is a Lower Subansiri project, hydro project that was undergoing, and it is a huge project. Due to this flood that has been right now, there has been stop in the construction, because there have been lot of siltation around the area. And though the officials have confirmed it, maybe in a fortnight or so, the things will be better, and they can again resume their work of the construction as the project was supposed to get done by 2022 by August. And this is a little bit of a worry thing, that the flood have also stopped that construction thing as well.
Right, Smita, and many people have been forced to leave their homes and take shelter in safer places. Thank you for giving us the detailed information, up-to-speed information on the flood situation in Assam. Moving on to our next story now, Krishna Janmashtami, also known as Gokulashtami, is being celebrated today. In Hindu mythology, it is believed that on the day of Janmashtami, Lord Krishna was born. Therefore, it is an auspicious day of great significance for the devotees of Lord Krishna. People worship Lord Krishna, the 8th avatar of Lord Vishnu, on this day. Celebrations that go on throughout the day include fasting till the moment of the Lord's birth at 12 midnight. And the actual birthplace of Lord Krishna, Mathura, has great significance when it comes to celebrating Janmashtami. Krishna birthday is also celebrated with much zeal in the city of Vrindavan, as it is believed that he spent a major part of his childhood there. And due to COVID pandemic, several states have put restrictions on Janmashtami celebration in public. In Delhi, devotees will not be permitted to visit temples on Janmashtami as DDMA guidelines prohibit religious gatherings. Police has urged people to celebrate the festival at their homes and not to gather at the temples. Also, action will be taken against those violating the guidelines. In Maharashtra, the government has downsized the festivals this year, cancelling the Handi events, and it is yet to open for religious places officially. Maharashtra Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray has said the centre's directives to states to ensure there is no crowding during the festivals underlines the need to prioritize lives of people amid the coronavirus pandemic. And the Home Ministry has extended the COVID-19 guidelines till September 30th and asked the states and the union territories to ensure compliance of the containment measures and augment enforcement during the period. The festive season has begun with Janmashtami and will continue until Diwali on November 4th. Currently, overall pandemic situation seems to be stable, but any negligence or complacence might prove to be dangerous. Therefore, we at DD India urge countrymen to exercise restraint and celebrate festivals at home only if possible. Wear your face mask, face covers, sanitize your hands, and most importantly, maintain social distancing, which is very, very important. President Ramnath Kovind has extended greetings to all fellow citizens on the eve of Janmashtami. In a message, the President said, "On the auspicious occasion of Janmashtami, I extend my warm greetings and best wishes to all the fellow citizens living in India and abroad. The Janmashtami is a festival to dedicate ourselves to the life and teachings of Lord Sri Krishna. This festival is also an occasion to spread the message of Lord Sri Krishna that emphasize the virtue of righteousness, truthfulness, and more on duty than reward. May this festival inspire us to assimilate all these eternal values." Unquote. And Prime Minister Narendra Modi has also extended greetings to countrymen on the auspicious occasion of Janmashtami. Right, we'll move on to our next story now. Planning to invest in gold? Look out for it today. The Reserve Bank of India opened the next tranche of the Sovereign Gold Bond Scheme 2021-2022 Series 6 for subscription for 5 days from today to September 3rd. The bonds are being sold through banks, Stock Holding Corporation of India Limited, designated post offices and recognized stock exchanges, National Stock Exchange of India Limited and BSE. The issue price for Sovereign Gold Bond Scheme has been fixed at Rs 4,732 per gram of gold. The RBI issues the bonds on behalf of the Government of India. The government, in consultation with RBI, also provides a discount of Rs 50 per gram less than the nominal value to those investors applying online and where the payment against the application is made through digital mode. The tenure of the bond is for a period of 8 years with an exit option after the 5th year to be exercised on the next interest payment dates. The minimum permissible investment is 1 gram of gold. Shifting focus now, India's glorious freedom struggle is one of the greatest movements the modern world has ever witnessed. DD India brings to you a glimpse of the struggle every day, and in today's episode we bring you the story of freedom fighter and later Chief Minister of Odisha, Vinayak Acharya. Have a look.
In today's episode, we bring you the story of freedom fighter and later Chief Minister of Odisha, Vinayak Acharya, who was born on this day in 1918 in Berhampur, Odisha, affectionately called as Odisha's Ajat Shatru, which means one who has only friends and no enemies. A frail-looking man, the khadi-clad Vinayak Acharya was a simple and soft-speaking gentleman. He was closely associated with the Indian freedom struggle and actively participated in the Quit India movement, which had a marked impact on the city of Berhampur.
He played a vital role in all the phases of manifold development of Odisha. His political, social, educational and administrative contributions specially merit high appreciation. He was deeply influenced by his father Raghunath Acharya and a contemporary literary personality, Ramachandra Acharya.
Vinayak was an independent-minded person and never wanted to join any government service under the British. Consequently, he joined a non-government high school in Hinjalicut and subsequently joined the Berhampur Municipal High School as an assistant teacher. He had a great quality of perseverance and was a promising and pragmatic leader in his own field.
From the beginning, he was attracted towards socialism and proved to be a true Gandhian in the subsequent phases of his life. During the Quit India movement, Acharya worked as a messenger of the freedom fighters to pass on relevant information from person to person.
Acharya made significant contributions to the educational advancement of Odisha. His popularity as a good teacher attracted students not only from Berhampur and Ganjam district but also from all over Odisha.
As a result, he was affectionately called Binu Master by all. During his teaching career, he found Navotkal Seva Sangh to help the downtrodden of the society. Haridakhandi Math was established at his initiation to help the poor students.
In 1954, when language clashes broke out in southern Odisha, Acharya led peace squads in the trouble areas. He also joined the cause of downtrodden communities, often shocking orthodox communities by sitting down to a meal with lower caste communities. For the development of education, the country's sovereignty, secularism, national integration and eradication of class biases. During his chief ministership from 1976-77, he laid considerable emphasis on the elementary education and made efforts to reduce the school dropout cases. He passed away on 11 December 1983.
However, Vinayak Acharya still lives in the memory of our great nation for his selfless devotion to national causes. His zeal towards social reforms will continue to inspire people to work for the empowerment and upliftment of weaker sections of the society. India is forever indebted to the selfless service of such great persons.
Now a quick update on Hurricane Ida, which made landfall as an extremely dangerous Category 4 storm in US's Louisiana, gushing heavy rain, catastrophic winds and a series of destruction on Sunday. The hurricane prompted huge evacuation and forced several people who did not flee their homes to brace themselves for the toughest test despite upgraded levee. The hurricane intensified even faster than it was predicted. And Ida, that made landfall on the same day deadly Hurricane Katrina made landfall 16 years ago, killing around 1,800 people, compelled over 3 lakh homes and businesses in Louisiana to remain without electricity. While in New Orleans, the administration had to suspend emergency medical services as the storm crawled northwest at 13 miles per hour. The NFC also warned of potentially catastrophic wind damage and up to 2 feet of rainfall in some areas. And calling Ida a life-threatening storm, US President Joe Biden has warned people in Mississippi and Louisiana to take precautions. The president also vowed to provide every possible assistance from the government.
So I want to emphasize again, this is going to be a devastating hurricane, a life-threatening storm. So please, all you folks in Mississippi and in Louisiana, Mississippi, and God knows, maybe even further east, take precautions. Listen, take it seriously, really very seriously. And you know, the whole government effort is ready to get to work. I can't think of any time where the federal, state, and local folks have worked together more closely and in advance of an obvious significant natural disaster. And folks, we're going to be here. We're going to be here to help the Gulf region get back on its feet as quickly as possible, as long as it takes. But don't kid yourself. This is going to take a lot of resources, a little bit of luck.
And as the impact of climate change intensifies globally, varied weather conditions and natural disasters are being witnessed. In US, the Calder fire ravaging across Northern California was dangerously close to small mountain town of Strawberry. The inferno that started on August 14 has so far burned more than 1,52,000 acres of land as per the California Department of Forestry and Fire Protection. The blaze has also destroyed nearly 500 homes and buildings and triggered mandatory evacuations. The department also said that the fire has been contained 19%. In Italy, a large fire engulfed a 20-story block of flats in Milan. The fire began on the upper floors and spread to lower levels. However, all residents were evacuated successfully. A video released by the firefighters showed them battling with the flames that were spewing clouds of black smoke. Around 20 cars parked nearby were also destroyed in the inferno. As per the mayor of the city, no one had been killed or injured. And Italian firefighters on Sunday battled a high-rise blaze in Milan. The fire began on the upper floors of the 20-story residential building before spreading to lower levels. Residents were hurriedly evacuated. And built in 2012, the 60-meter high-rise had 16 residential floors plus 2 underground. The fire also destroyed about 20 cars parked in the area below. As per the initial reports, no one had been killed or injured and all the residents had been successfully evacuated. And talking about the COVID situation now, let's take a look at the updates on the COVID-19 from across the world. The virus has so far infected over 21 crore, 71 lakh people across the world, while the number of recoveries have crossed 19 crore, 40 lakh globally. COVID-19 has claimed more than 45 lakh, 14,000 lives worldwide, and the situation in the US continues to remain grim, where cases stand above 3 crore, 96 lakh with over 6 lakh, 54,000 fatalities. And Australia has also passed the grim milestone of 1,000 fatalities from COVID-19. The country has been witnessing a grave wave of COVID-19's highly infectious Delta variant that has even breached its fortress-style controls and restrictions to combat the disease. Police patrol Coogee Beach in Sydney's east were seen enforcing public health orders such as mask wearing. The country, seeing spiraling up COVID-19 cases, has so far reported more than 52,600 cases. In Greece, thousands of protesters gathered in central Athens to protest against mandatory COVID-19 vaccinations. Clashes were seen between police and protesters, while police attempting to disperse the protesters. The police used tear gas and water cannons on protesters who threw flares and other objects during protest. The country has vaccinated at least half of its population. However, certain groups such as healthcare workers and nursing home staff protested against the plan for mandatory inoculations. The fossil of a type of shark with petal-shaped teeth which dates back to 290 million years ago, has been found in China for the first time, expanding its paleogeographic distribution. The fossil of 7 well-preserved Petalodes teeth was discovered in the Kranchi limestone in Yangquan city. So far, the fossil of the shark species has been found in multiple places in the Earth's northern hemisphere. Besides Europe and America, the shark's fossil has been found in China and Japan, indicating it had the ability to migrate across oceans and was probably a predator with strong swimming capabilities. And a health story now. Early childhood cavities is the most common chronic disease of the childhood. Healthy dental habits should begin early because tooth decay can develop as soon as the first tooth comes in. Take a look at this special report to know how to prevent tooth decay in children.
Healthy teeth are important to the overall health of infants and children. They help your child to eat and talk. Strong oral care helps eat good dental habits as your child grows. Poor oral care can lead to infections, diseases and other dental problems.
Milk teeth is also very important. It gives a succedaneous teeth, that is a permanent teeth in a proper position. If if infants or children have a deciduous teeth in a good manner, that will impact the permanent teeth in proper eruption.
Dental problems are quite common in children. Unhealthy eating habits and lack of oral hygiene are responsible for the increased risk of dental problems in infancy and early childhood. Many parents assume that cavities in baby teeth don't matter because they'll be lost anyway, but that's not true. Dental decay in baby teeth or temporary teeth can negatively affect permanent teeth and lead to future dental problems.
First we will start with the infants. When no tooth will erupt in a oral cavity, clean the vestibule with the soft cotton, with the soak in the warm saline regularly, and then when first teeth erupt at the age of 6 months, you will start making a habit of brushing. That will give a very good dental health.
The best way to protect your child's teeth is to teach them good dental habits. During the regular visit to the pediatrician for child's checkup, pediatrician must check the child's teeth and gums to ensure good oral health in children. Kiran Bhardwaj, DD News.
Right, it's time for a wrap, but before we go, it's a reminder to wear a face mask before you step out of your house. Cases might be declining, but we cannot afford to lower our guard. Follow all the government guidelines and the COVID appropriate behavior, and keep washing your hands or sanitizing your hands, which is very, very important. Well, that's all we have in News on the Hour. Stay tuned for more news and updates. Namaskar.